Okay, so now that you tried to solve it on your own and the instructions are clear, we are going to see how this can be solved together. And let us start with a simple exercise, with a simple structure. That first of all, we are going to understand what is basically the type of such a function. What do you think this function should return? Should it be of a type int, double, float? What do you think, guys? That's very important to understand this part because usually a lot of people find it difficult to make this type of the function. So what do you think? Basically, we know that we even don't have the word return in this question. So probably this function is not going to return anything. The fact that this function prints some information to the screen does not necessarily mean that this function should return something, right? So we will assume that the type of the function is going to be of a void type. Okay, so void. And then we will specify print 1, I don't know, to n. Okay, that's the name of the function. And this function is going to receive, what do you think? It's going to receive some number n. So int n, okay? And once the structure is clear, the signature is clear, we are going to run the loop body. So the loop body will be something like this. First of all, understand what you are going to do. I mean, what do you think should be done? Do you think that if we simply print f, I don't know, %d, and here specify n, is this the correct approach? What do you think, guys? Do you think that if we run the function now, let's just use it here. So let's just run this printf to n and let's see what happens. Basically, I'm going to solve it together with you and to see all the different options that you also may have tried, and basically some of them worked this way, some worked the other way. So let's see. So print 1 to n, let's specify 4, okay, as our example. So if we build and run it now, then in this case what you will see is just the value of 4 printed to the screen. That's not something that you want. You want all the numbers from 1 up to 4. So what do you think is missing here? Basically, one of the things that are missing here is the recursive function call. So let's do it. And what we need to add now is print, let's say print 1 to n. And if we will specify n here, what do you think will happen? What do you think will be printed to the screen? So let's quickly, don't try it at home. I will build and run it and stop this execution right away. But you can see that 4 is printed endless time to the screen. And why is that? The reason is very simple, because we don't have any stopping condition. And this recursive function calls itself over and over and over, and then it prints this n. So that's also not something that we want to happen. So let's add some stopping condition. What should be in this case the stopping condition? In such a case, the stopping condition should be basically, what do you think? It should maybe be 1, right? Because we print all the numbers from 1 up to n, from 1 up to n. So let's make it like if n is greater or equals to 1, then only in this case let us execute these following lines of code. So let's just copy that, copy it here, up, oh, good, awesome. So that's what we will have here. So do you think anything has changed so far? Absolutely not, because we still call this function over and over and over again, and n will not be decremented. So what do you think? If we add here n minus 1 right now, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Don't try to execute it. Look at the code and try to think for yourself what would happen here. Do you think that this result will be printed to the screen like 1, 2, 3, 4? Or maybe some other result will be printed to the screen? So let's build and run it and see what happens. So there you go. You can see 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty much what we wanted, just in some reversed option, right? We don't want 4, 3, 2, 1. We want 1, 2, 3, 4. So print 1 to n. You can see here int n. First of all, we print 4. Then we call this function with the value of 3. Then we go print 3, and then we call it for 2, for 1, and then this result is false, and then basically we stop our recursive calls. All right? So that's clear, okay, that we print 4, 3, 2, 1 to the screen, and that's amazing. But what should you modify? What should you modify? Basically, remember also this solution, because this solution is can be copied, and it can be shown like print n to 1. Okay, print n to 1. That's the other solution. Okay, so this function will print all the values from n to a given n to 1, and this function should print all the values from 1 to n. So what do you think should be changed here? And basically, what should be changed is probably the order of these two lines, of line 15 and line 16. So you should change the order. Let's try to basically move this line to be printed out after the recursive call. So this way, what you will do, okay, let me draw it with you, okay, so that it will be even clearer to you. So we are calling with 4, okay, so that's the first instance, and let's say that's the console application where all the results are going to be printed. So we call this function with a value of 4, okay, and previously we just printed 4 and then 3, 2, 1, and so on. Now we call this function with 4, we check this condition, it's true. We are going to now call the other function, another instance, with the value of 3. And then we are going to call this function again with the value of 2. And then again with the value of 1. And then what we are going to do is to call this function with the value of 0, right? Because n minus 1 is 0. So we call this function with a 0. So if n is greater than or equals to 1, that's not true. So this function has been executed and it has not done anything. So then we go to this function, okay, this instance. This instance executed this function of print 1 to n for 0, right? That was the call for this function. And this function has been executed, this line has been executed inside of this instance. And then we will execute printf %d. So we are going to print 1 to the screen. And then this function is over also. And then we come back to this function, this instance. This instance called this print 1 to n for 1 for this value. This line has been executed. And now we are going to print the given value, the given n, which is 2. And then we are going to do the same for 3 and 4. And basically, that's what we are expected to see on the screen. So I hope this is clear to you guys. Very important, this order, okay? So if you take a close look at this option, right here, you will see that the order is different between the recursive call and the printf command. And that this will result in printing all the values from n to this given 1. Okay, is this clear to you? Awesome. So let's just, once everything is clear to you, right, let's just clear this screen and let's basically call this function once again. So where is our main? Okay, so print 1 to n. Let's use something even nicer here. So printf, enter a number, and then the user is going to specify the number. So scanf, let's use here also some int num, scanf %d, and store it inside the variable num. And now let's say that printf all the values from 1 to n, are, and let's say here all the values will be printed because we are going to call this function print 1 to n and pass the value of num. Okay, let's remove this line. Now let's basically build and run it. So let me just close this before. Okay, so build and run, and let's see what's going on. So enter a number. So let's say 4. So all the values from 1 to n are 1, 2, 3, 4. And this n, of course, could be replaced with some percentage %d. No problem with that. Let's check it out also for 10. So let's get it. So 10. All the values from 1 to n, in this case it's 10, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, this also could be modified like this. And here specify num, not a big deal. So I hope this is clear to you guys. Also, one thing that we also can modify a little bit is just, let's take it like this. Let's take it like this. All the values from %d to 1 are also printed the other way. And basically we will use here this kind of nice line, print n to 1. Okay, so let's build and run it and see what happens next. So 5. Let's just add additional new line here, okay, before, so that it will be clear. Printf, so enter a number 5, and all the values from 1 to 5 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the values from 5 to 1 are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hooray! Congratulations, guys, for completing this exercise of recursion section. Not an easy one. But I think that is a very good exercise. It covers up a lot. And in the next video, we are going to proceed with some variation of this exercise. And hopefully you will try to solve the next exercise totally on your own, because it's going to rely on the understanding you had to gain in this one. So with that being said, let me know what you think of this video, what you think of this course. It's very important for me to get some feedback from you, to get some review, to get some comments, so that I will know that my hard work is really pays off. So thank you guys. My name is Vlad Alpha Tech. I'll see you next time.